Okay, now here we can see we can trust on science. Well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela. I am here with you. According to titles, yes, today we are roasting our ugly ma'ams, Divya, Spandana, Ramya. And now, here we can see the points. Today's topic is repeatedly here Ketan Agarwal case. But now, here we can see, here we would discuss the topics. The topic is real estate business in Vatican City. And now, in this cases, here we would discuss that how cargo ship can travel from Mumbai, Maharashtra, the city of Maharashtra, provincial state of India, to here Osta, the city of Italy. Okay, and now here into is over, and now here we can see. Now let's check it. What's going on? Okay. Here we could see this is the almost YouTube Israel, and here we can notify it is Ramya, and what is her statements? Here her statement is cannot read a man's mind to do not know when he would R or M, so put all men in jails. That is the statements of Divya Spandana Ramya. And here, now let's check at the moments. But now, in this case, where Divya Spandana Ramya is 100% wrong, here we would mention the points. Okay. Now, first of all, here we are talking about the Ketan Agarwals. Ketan Agarwal. Okay, Ketan Agarwal's real estate business. And here we can see it is the man Ketan Agarwal's. Now let's check it. Before the June 18, 2026, what was the moments of Ketan Agarwal's? Okay, and in these cases, well, at the time of that, his age was 28 years, and here we can see. Well, now let's come to the topics. And now it is the Vatican City. And now here we can see this moments. What is Ketan Agarwal's project? Ketan Agarwal's project is about Vatican City in here where thousands of buildings would be in Vatican City, where each of the 1,000 buildings contains 150,000 stories. And now, in these cases, here is the moments at the points. That is here significant terms as you can notify. Well, and now let's check it at the points. Well, I think here I would contains a rest at the times. Okay. Well, And here is my discussions at the significant terms. It is our spark times, as we could notice. Now, let's check this. Here, departure is here. What is the departure? Departure would be here Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra provincial state of United States of America. I guess Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra provincial state of India, is the departures. And where is the arrivals? The arrival would be the Austria, the city of Italy. Now, why cargo ship choose? Why I choose Austria? Here it is the significant mention is at points. Um, uh, and now let's check it. Where the significant points? Now, as in cargo ships, here first route is from Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra provincial state, and here we could see the notifications. The first stop is sea beach near to Pakistan and Iran. Then next stop is sea beach near to here Oman's, Yemen's, and southern Saudi Arabia. Okay. Now here we can see sea beach near to where? Sea beach near to here Argentina. Guys, sea beach near to here Egypt, where we could see here the route is Suez canals. And now in these cases sea beach would be near to Tel Aviv, the city of Israel. And now let's check at the moments. Well, sea beach, and here now next route is the sea route between Tunisia and southern Italy, and hence their next route is sea beach of Spain. And now hence their point would be in Italy, when the city is Austria. And now here is my question is, why Austria is chosen city? Because Austria is just near to Rome. Okay. And now let's check at the moments. In these cases, where is here the total nautical miles at the moments? Here we can contains the significant moment at sometimes. Here we could see it would be 5903.1 nautical miles. Okay. Now what is here 5903.1 nautical miles is meaning? Well, and now here we can see this moment. I think here now here we can see this terms. Nautical miles to kilometers. And now let's check it. 5903.1 nautical miles. That is almost 10,932 kilometers, 541 meters, 200 millimeters. That means its round figure is 5903.1 nautical mile, means almost 11,000 kilometers. Okay. And now here we can see these points. Well, here is the justified momentums that can be at the serious moments. Okay. Well, and now let's check the times. Okay. Now here we can see here the topic is here real estate business in Vatican cities. Your point is the Ketan Agarwal's case. And now, when here we could topic is about the Ketan Agarwal case. Ketan Agarwal wants to build only 150,000 stories building. Ketan Agarwal want to build in Vatican City, where only Christian peoples would live in their building with the story of 1500, I mean 150,000. And now let's check at the moments at the times, and here we could see, well, here we contain the calculations at the times. Here my supporter was, well, Caplot Habibi. Okay, and now, well, I think here someone could not get here the significant terms at, well, I think here we would take a rest at the points. Okay, now, well, now here we can see these points for 100,000 buildings, I mean 100,000 storage buildings. Here it is structural steel requires almost 3 billion tons. That means 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilograms. Okay, and now, hence what about here 150? Here we do not know. And now in this cases, as a calculations, for 100,000 storage buildings, it would require almost 40 trillion United States dollars. Okay, and now here we are talking about 150,000. Okay, storage building. Here we are talking about 150,000 storage buildings. Well, that means it would require the cost to be 60 trillion United States dollars. On the other hand, in the same cases, here 60 trillion United States dollars as a storage buildings. Here that is the significant points that how we could react. That would be 60 trillion United States dollars, and structural steel requires almost 4.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilograms. That is requirements. Okay, and now let's take at the moments. Here is some beautiful terms, as we could see. That is the significant terms. Well, now let's check it. What's going on? Okay, now here we can see. Now, how much cargo ships? How many cargo ships is required to carry structural steel to be here 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilograms. And here we can see there is that is the simple calculations at the moment. Well, and here that for 100,000 storage buildings, structural steel carrier cargo ships requires almost 6,700. Now in these cases, well, what is 6,700 at the points? In now here we can see 6,700 multiplied by 1.5, and now that is, here we can see, that is almost 10,050. Okay, now 60. Now here we could see the 10,050 cargo ships is required to carry the structural steels to build a building where the building would contain 150,000 stories. And now, here is the moments, that is the significant points, and it is just like to be cleared cuts at the sometimes. And here we can see, and now let's check at the velocity. Okay, yeah, velocity is here 5900 3.1 nautical miles as a naval distance. That means almost 11,000 per naval distance. 11,000 kilometers of naval distance. Now, what is the velocity of Ketan Agarwal if he would alive? In this cases, when he would alive, the Ketan Agarwal's would build Ketan Agarwal's real estate cargo ships would contain the velocity would be 242,000 kilometer per second. Yes, that would be 242,000 kilometer per second. Now here we can, that is the significant journeys at the points. Hence, what would be the travel times? That is the significant questions at the moments. Now, let's calculate 11 divided by 242. That would be here 0.0455 seconds. And here, that means it would be almost 45 milliseconds. I apologize. Well, 45.5 milliseconds. And now, here we can see the points. What is the necessary of cargo ship journey where travel time would be 45.5 milliseconds, and here when naval distance is 11,000 kilometers. In that cases, now here departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, June 8, 2026. Here arrival time would be morning 6 o'clock, 0.0455 second past July 8, 2026. As an arrival time, where departure time is morning 6 o'clock, July 8, 2026. And now, here is the moments. That is the significant clear cut at points. And here we could see, well, none of our friends would be comfortable in the points. Well, and here, that is the significant clear cuts. Okay, now here we can see this points. It is Ketan Agarwal's cargo ship velocity. Now, let's come into the points. What about here the points when Ketan Agarwal's sister would be the in command of the real Ketan Agarwal's real estate business? That is here significant moments. Now in that cases, here naval distance is 11,000 kilometers, and here naval travel time would be. Now let's check is what is the naval travel times. That would be here 11 kilometers per hour as a naval velocity accordance with the plan of Ketan Agarwal's sisters real estate business cargo ships. And now, then what would be the travel times? The travel time would be 83 days, 4 hours. Now, here is my question. that what is the meaning of 83 days, 4 hours as a travel times. In that cases, well, here is the significant points that should be notified at some how. Well, and here we can see in this points. Uh, Now let's calculate this. Now 83 days start from July 8, 2026. Now what is 83 sum by 8? That is 91. 91 would start from what? Okay. Well, here July contains 31 days. August contains 31 days. 31 sum by 31 is 62. And here we can see those points. Well, what is 91 subtract by 62? That is 29. Okay. Now here we can see the date is September 29. Well, 2026. And what is the morning 6 o'clock sum by 4 hours? That is morning 10 o'clock. Hence, here we could see the departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, July 8, 2026. Here arrival time would be, morning 10 o'clock, September 29, 2026. And now, here we can see the points. And here we can see here that is the moments it is the best journeys at all times. Okay, and now here we can see that what's going on. Okay, now here now let's check it. What about the points? In that cases, let's compare. Ketan Agarwal's sister velocity is more. Ketan Agarwal's sister velocity is 11 km per hour, where Ketan Agarwal's cargo naval velocity is 242,000 km per second. Now, where is 242,000 km per second and where is 11 km per hour? That is here significant difference at the times. Okay, and now here we can see that is the significant. Now it is the velocity has been discussed. Now let's take the points. What is about the travel time can be discussed? That would be the significant points that can be notified. Okay, and in this cases, here we could see as a travel time when departure naval distance is 11,000 kilometers, and now here we can departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, July 8, 2026. Now let's check at the points. Well, morning, and here we go. Ketan Agarwal's sister's arrival time is morning 10 o'clock, September 29, 2026. On the other hand, here Ketan Agarwal's cargo ship arrival time would be morning 6 o'clock, 0.0455 second past July 8, 2026. Now, where is arrival time to be morning 6 o'clock, 0.0455 second past July 8, 2026, and where is here morning 10 o'clock, here September 29, 2026. That is, there is a significant difference as we could notify at the moment. Okay, and I think there somebody's here, some bodies of my friends has been disappointed just because they could see here their favorite countries, which was Egypt, has been lost. Okay, now let's check at the moments. And now here is the times. That is their today's point is significance. And now let's check it. Here that 0.0. In this cases, here we have discussed the travel times. Now here is the points that we can discuss. What we can discuss the kinetic energies, and here we can discuss the kinetic powers. Okay, let's get the points. Well, in these cases, here is the momentums at sometimes. Well, now here, what would be the kinetic energies? That is the significant discussion moments. Okay, now here we can see. Well, now, well, cargo ship weight is 200,000 tons. That means 200 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 kilograms. And their payload is almost 65 multiplied by 10 to the power 7 kilograms. And now for one cargo ship. And here we can see those points. What is the statistic energy of your payload cargo ship to be 10,050 cargo ships? That is here calculation is 10,050 multiplied by here 65 multiplied by 10 to the power 7 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16. And here we can see the points. Well, in the cases, what is 1 sum by 7? That is 8. And what is 8 sum by 16? That is here 24. Okay. Now here we can see the points. What on the other hand, what is 65 multiplied by 8? In those cases, 65 multiplied by 8 is here 585. And now let's check at the points. And what is the calculation? The calculation is 1005 multiplied by 585 multiplied by 10 to the power 24. And here, in these cases, that is the significant notifications at the moment. Well, here we could see 1005 multiplied by 65. Okay. Now here we can see 1005 multiplied by 585. That can be multiplied by here words 10 to the power 24. Okay. Now here you can see 10 to the power 24. Now now let's check at the moments. And it is almost 5.88 multiplied by 10 to the power 29 joules. Okay. Now here we can see this points. What is the meaning of 242,000 kilometer per second as a velocity of cargo ships? Well, here 242 divided by 300 is almost 0.8067. That means, well, here cargo ship's velocity is, when Ketan Agarwal's cargo ship velocity is almost 80.67% of the velocity of lights. Okay. Now let's check at the points. What is lambda subtract by 1s? Here we can see that is the moments 1 divided by words. Here bracket of square root of bracket of 1 subtract by 0.8067. Well, 8067, that square, enter bracket close. Oh my god. Now here we can see these points. Oh my god. Here we can see 1 divided by. Now I think here will 0.8067, and now yeah, well, the value of lambda is 1.69216, and what is the value of lambda subtract by 1s? That is here 0.69216. Okay. Now here we can see what is the here kinetic energies calculations. That is here, well, 5.88 multiplied by 10 to the power 29. Well, that can be multiplied by 0. Well, 69216, and now that is the significant terms at the moments. Well, it is almost 407 multiplied by 10 to the power 27 joules. Here we can see 407 multiplied by 10 to the power 27 joules. Okay. And now here is the points, that is the significant notifications at the moments. Well. And now let's get the points. What is about kinetic powers? In that cases, here we can see kinetic powers. We can check the points. Well, 407 multiplied by 10 to the power 27 joules as a kinetic energy. Well, that can be divided by watts. Okay. And here we can see the points. Well, now let's check it. That can be divided by 0.0455 seconds. And now let's check out the calculations. What is 242 divided by 11? That is here 2 multiplied by 121 divided by 11. That is here, the answer is 22. And hence, here is the moments. What is the kinetic powers? Is the points. In that cases, here kinetic power is almost okay, 8.96 multiplied by 10 to the power 30 watts. And now let's check the points. What is 30? That is 24 sum by 6. And what is 24? That is here, well, 15 is sum by 9. That means here Ketan Agarwal's cargo ship kinetic power is, well, 8.96 billion quadrillions megawatts as a kinetic powers. Now let's check at the points. What is the kinetic energy of Ketan Agarwal's sister's cargo ship, real estate cargo ships. And now let's take at the moments. Ketan Agarwal's sister cargo ship velocity is here 11 km per hour. Now let's take at the points. What is 11 km per hour? That is 11 multiplied by 1000 divided by 3600 in 10 per second. That now here we can calculate as a 110 divided by 36 in 10 meter per second. Now here we can see this one. What is here 36 multiplied by 3? That is here 108 is now here we can see this point. It is almost. And what is 36 multiplied by 4? That is 144. That means it is near to here 4 meter per second, to be meaning of 11 kilometer per hour. Well, now here we can see these moments. What is half of payload of 10,050 cargo ships? That is the calculations, the moments. Now what is 10,050 divided by 5? That is 5,025. And here we can see what is the half of payload of 10,050 cargo ships. That is here, well, 5,025 multiplied by 65 multiplied by 10 to the power 7. And now let's check the moments. And here now what is velocity square? Here velocity square is 16 meter square per second square. Okay. And now let's check the what is the calculations of kinetic energy of Ketan Agarwal's sister's real estate business cargo ships. Now here calculation is here 525. I have guys 5,025 multiplied by here 67 multiplied by 10 to the power 7. I have guys. Yeah. Well, calculation of kinetic energy would be 5,025 multiplied by 65 multiplied by 10 to the power 7 multiplied by 16. And now here is the pulse. That is the significant calculations. And here that can be here significant terms. Well, 5,025 here multiplied by 65 multiplied by 16 multiplied by what? That can multiply by 10 to the power 10 to the power 7. And now let's check it. Here we can see the calculation is 52.26 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 joules. Okay. As a round figure, we can write here as 53 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 joules. But now, well, here we can see what is the meaning of travel time to be 83 days 4 hours. That is 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. Okay. Now here we can see 53 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 joules as the kinetic energy can be divided by travel time to be bracket of 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. And now let's check is what is the kinetic powers. In that cases, here kinetic power is 14,722,223 watts. It is as a round figure we can calculate as a 15 megawatts. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Well, now dear Divya, Spandana, Ramya, here is my questions that who is the M word criminals, men or women? That is the questions. That is the eligible question. Just because here we could see, well, before Ketan Agarwal states here, Ketan Agarwal's cargo ship's kinetic force was 8.9 billion quadrillions megawatts. Here, after Ketan Agarwal states, well, here real states cargo ships kinetic force becomes here 15 watts. Now, where is 8.9 billion quadrillions here megawatts, and where is 15 megawatts? That is the significant difference of kinetic force. And now here we can see, well, now let's go back to the velocity. And in this cases, when velocity is 242,000 km per second, it contains real estate business high punctuality. And when here cargo ship velocity would be 11 km per hour, when naval distance is 11,000 kilometers, it contains here lack of punctualities. And here real estate business contains their significant punctuality to build here a building of 150,000 stories. And now here that is the significant moments are the points. Okay, and now let's take it. Here we can see this points that can be as significant terms. And here now, well, velocity to be 242,000 km per second and kinetic power to be 8.9 billion quadrillions megawatts as the kinetic powers of, well, 10,050 cargo ship to carry structural steels is the symbol of the punctuality in real estate business that can build here a building of 150,000 stories. But when we can talk about the following points, after Ketan Agarwal says, when the Ketan Agarwal sisters contains the command of on Ketan Agarwal's real estate business. Now let's take the points. The velocity is 11 km per hour, and here 10,050 cargo ships kinetic power is 15 megawatts. And now let's take that is the symbol of lack of punctuality in the real estate business. Now, in these cases, now let's compare the significations. What is the moments? Well, in these cases, when the punctuality would be fulfilled in the real estate business, to build here 150,000 storage buildings, it would require almost here India could get almost 60 trillion United States dollars as an addition to the gross domestic products. And here the gross domestic product is the significantly records at the moment. And here we could see the gross domestic product is significantly records because it would build and reach India. Okay, and now we can see the funds after Ketan Agarwal's death. When here we can see Real estate cargo ships velocity became 11 km per hour and kinetic powers becomes 15 megawatts in lieu of 8.9 billion quadrillion megawatts. In these cases, well, real estate business lost the contact of 60 trillion United States dollars. Just only because of the death of Ketan Agarwal in the hand of criminal Sia Gosals. And now, here is the moment. Dear Divya Spandana, Ramya. Now here is my questions. Who is whose gender is M word criminal? I mean, whose gender is the assassination criminals? Man or women? Here we can see this here. Women is here gender to be assassination criminals and man is the gender to be here assassination victims. Okay. And now here we can see the sponsor. It is the point to be topics about the moments. Okay. And now here is the first point as sometimes. Now let's coming to the next point. That would be the fuels. When here the what is the fuel? Here we could see the fuel would be here are major points that can define man real estate businessman's cargo ship versus women real estate businessman cargo ships. And now in these cases that is the points man real estate businessman cargo ship is containing the fuel system to be artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, where women, where real estate business women cargo ships fuel is cargo ship walls. And now let's take at the moments, and here we can see that let me clear at the moments. Now what is the significant points that needs to be clear? Okay, and here now we can see I think I am disappointed just because here we could not get here 30 friends. I am happy if I can get 30 friends to watching me. And here we can see the points. Now here we can see 407 multiplied by 10 to the power 27 joules can be divided by bracket of 15,408 joule per kilogram per kelvins as a specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now here we can see this is the moments multiplied by the following temperatures bracket close. Okay, and what is the points that we can find here? Almost 3.97 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 644 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius as a fuel to of 10,050 cargo ship with a velocity to be 242,000 km per second to carry 4.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilograms. And now here we can see. Now let's get the funds. And now let's check it. What are the significant moments? Now, when after the death of the Ketan Agarwals, now what's going on the real estate business cargo ships? And now here we can see 53 multiple by 10 to the power 12. Well, joules as a kinetic energies of uh, real estate business women cargo ships that can be divided by bracket of watts, that can be divided by here 2000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as an specific heat of cargo ship was multiple by 50 degrees Celsius as an highest temperature difference multiple by 1.01 kilogram per liter as a density of cargo ship walls bracket close. Then what would be the points? Here we can see that would be here 525 million liters of cargo ship oils. Now here we can see what is 525 million liters of cargo ship oils. Well, that would be the clear cut moments. It is would be almost 600 million kilograms of cargo ship oils. That means there will be here 600,000 tons of cargo ship oils. Now, irony is that they are with 242,000 kilometer per second as a velocity of 10,050 cargo ships carried to structural steels with the kinetic force of 8.9 billion quadrillion megawatts records here 3.97 multiple by 10 to the power negative 644 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiple by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Here, 50, here with 11 kilometer per hour, velocity of 10,050 cargo ships to carry structural steels with kinetic power to be 15 megawatts requires here 600,000 tons of cargo ship oils. Now where is 600,000 tons of cargo ship oils and where is here 3.97 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 644 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiple by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now that is the significant moments. Here is the journeys that can be points that how the real estate businessman is necessary to develop the countries. Well, the topic is to additions of gross domestic products of India. Now, before the deals of real estate deals between Vatican City of and Ketan Agarwal's, here gross domestic products of India in June 2026 was 4.19 trillion megawatts. And now, when if Ketan Agarwal would be alive, here real estate deal would be successful. Well, and here Vatican City can get 1,000 buildings where each building would contain here 150,000 stories. In that cases, Ketan Agarwal could get 60 trillion United States dollars. Hence, here the Indian gross domestic products would be 64.19 trillion United States dollars. And now, here we can see, well, after the Ketan Agarwal's death, here would be the lack of the punctualities in real estate business. Well, now Ketan Agarwal's real estate firms would pay 60 trillion United States dollars from her pockets. And now, what would be the matters? Well, now, in that cases, uh, gross domestic products of India would remain 4.19 trillion United States dollars, but their external debt would be 60 trillion United States dollars. And now that is the significant points and that is here significant state for the economy of India. And now that is the point that why Shia Ghosals and Ketan Agarwal's sisters gets the benefits if Shia Ghosals can eliminate Ketan Agarwal's. That is the point. Now here is my questions to the Divya, Spandana, Ramya, that who is criminals? Here, that who is the criminals as a gender, man or women? Now here you can see that it is the points that can be erroneous. That now, well, here we can see the now here we can see the joke from Divya, Spandana, Ramya, and the joke is here. Well, after the death of Ketan Agarwal, here India contains the debt of 60 trillion United States dollars, just because Shia Ghosals eliminate Ketan Agarwal. But accordance with Divya, Spandana, Ramya, men are assassination criminals. Okay. Now on the other, now in these cases, Divya, Spandana, because here Shia Ghosals eliminate Ketan Agarwal. Hence we can see Vatican City could not see the buildings to be 150,000 storage buildings. Hence, just because Shia Ghosals eliminate Ketan Agarwal, but accordance with Divya, Spandana, Ramya, which gender is assassination criminals? Man. That is the statement of Divya, Spandana, Ramya. Okay. Now, now let's come into the points. When the topic, here we could see Divya, Spandana, Ramya's points here. Now, when real estate business cargo ships to be 10,050 cargo ships to carry structural steels can contains the kinetic parts can be decreased from 8.9 billion quadrillions megawatt to 15 megawatts, just because here Shia Ghosals eliminates here Ketan Agarwal, who is the assassination criminals according with Divya, Spandana, Ramya, that is man. And here now we can see this points before Ketan Agarwal's death. Here Ketan Agarwal's cargo ship velocity was 242,000 km per second. But after the death of Ketan Agarwal, his real estate cargo ship velocity becomes 11 km per hour. That means the cargo ships decrease their velocity from 242,000 km per second to 11 km per hour. Who is assassination criminals accordance with Divya Spandana? Just because here Sia Gusar eliminated Ketan Agarwal, here who is assassination criminals accordance with Divya Spandana Ramya? That is man. And here it now we could see the gender equal justice is just a joke for Divya Spandana Ramya, and that is the significant crimes, as we could see. Okay, and now let's take the moments. Okay, now let's we can see that is the points that can be notified, and here we could know notifies. We require just one chance. Well, here now here we can see. Okay. Now for here 50 billion tons. But here we could see this points. Concrete, that means reinforced concrete. Cargo ships requires almost 110,000 cargo ships for to build here 100,000 buildings. And here we could see these points, but now here building is containing the stories of 150,000 in lieu of 100,000. And here we can see what would be the requirements of cargo ship was. Now here we can see what is cargo ship quantity requirements. That would be here 165,000 cargo ship is required. Okay, and now it is clear the moments. Now here we can see velocity is just discussed here. Travel time is discussed, but just because here naval distance is fixed. Here naval distance is 11,000 kilometers. And now let's check at the moments. What is the kinetic energy of 165,000 cargo ships? And now here we can see. Here we can notify the statistic and what is the statistic energies. Well, here we can see that this the points. We have to refresh here. Okay. Now let's take us the moments. Here we can see this points. 165,000. Well, multiple by 65 multiple by 10 to the power 7. Well, here we can see multiple by here 9 multiple by 10 to the power 16. And what is the points? Here we can see that would be here. What is the? That would be here 9.6525 multiplied by 10 to the power 30 joules. As a round figure, that would be 9.7 multiplied by 10 to the power 30 joules. Okay. And now let's check as the moments. 1 divided by bracket of square root of bracket of 1 subtract by here 0.8067 square. Now in this cases, what is the value of lambda? Now here you can see Now value of lambda is 1.69216. That means here value of lambda subtract by 1 is, well, 0.69216. Okay. Now let's check at the points. Here we can see the calculation of kinetic energy. What is here? We can see the significant points. 9.7 multiplied by 10 to the power 30. That can be here multiplied by words 0.69216. And now, well, here we can see this moments. That is almost kinetic energy to be 6.713952 multiplied by 10 to the power 30 joules. As a round figure, that is 6.8 multiplied by 10 to the power 30 joules. Okay. Now here we can see. Now here travel time is 0.455 seconds. 1 divided by travel time is 22. Okay. 6.8 multiplied by 10 to the power 30. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 10 to the power 30. That can be multiplied by words 22. Well, that is almost 1.496 multiplied by 10 to the power 32 watts. Now let's take the points. Here we can contest the questions. What is here 4 point? What is 32? That is 26 sum by 6. And now what is here 26? That is here we can see this points 11 sum by 15. Okay. Now what is 11? Here we can see 2 sum by 9s. And what is 1.496 multiplied by 10 square? That is here 149.6. That means it is clear the moments here kinetic force is here 149.6 multiplied by 10 to the power average. Here we can see that is here 149.6 billion quadrillions megawatts as the moments. Billion quadrillions megawatts. 149. That is here 149.6. And now, in these cases, that is the momentums at the points. On the other hand, when we could contest about the 165,000 cargo ship contest here reinforcements concrete, that contest the velocity to be, well, 11 kilometer per hours. That would be here almost here 4 meter per second. Hence the velocity square would be 16 meter square per second square. Hence we can see it is the moments on half of payload of 165,000 cargo ships. Here we can see these moments. That is the clears. Okay. Now let's check it. So what is 165,000 to be divided by 2? That is 82.5 thousands. Okay. Now here you can see this points 82.5 thousands. Now let's take it. What is half of payload of 165,000 cargo ships? To contents here reinforced concrete. That is here 82.5 thousands multiplied by 65 multiplied by 10 to the power 7. And now let's take as the points. In that cases, what is the kinetic energy calculation as a method of Isaac Newtonian kinetic energies. We can see that is the moments. Here is sometimes at the journeys. It is almost 82. Okay. Now here we can see this is the significant terms. 82 point well 5,000. I apologize. 82.5 thousand multiple by well here we can see 65 multiple by 10 to the power 7, that can be multiple by words 60. And now here we can see there is the moments. It would be 580 I apologize, it is 858 trillion joules. Okay, now let's check it. What is 858 trillion joules? When here travel time is 36 multiple by 10 to the power 5, and now it would be almost 238,333,334 watts. That means here 239 megawatts. And here we can see that is the significant points. Here is the significant ironies at the moment. Here irony. Here we could see the irony is as a deadly irony. And here, why this following irony is a deadly irony? It is just because here we can see before Ketan Agarwal's death, here Ketan Agarwal's real estate cargo ships to contains here reinforcement concrete contains kinetic power to be 149.6 billion quadrillions megawatts. And after the date of Ketan Agarwal, the 165 cargo ship with reinforced concrete contains the kinetic power to be 238 megawatts. Where is 238 megawatts and where is 149.6 billion quadrillion megawatts? That is the significant moments. It is the dangerous movements as we could notify. That is here we can see. Well, when Ketan Agarwal is eliminated in the hand of criminal Sia Gosals, here we can see concrete reinforcement concrete ships kinetic powers has been decreased, and now in these cases punctuality has been decreased. And here we can see the business is in lost, and in this point the here gross domestic product of India is within the negative effects. And now here is my question to Divya, Spandana, Ramya. Who is the criminals of assassination case? Men's or women's? Here we can see these points. In realities, women's are assassination criminal, but according with Divya, Spandana, Ramya, men are assassination criminals. Now here we can see these points. Well, it is the definition of toxic feminism. Well, now let's check it. What is the definition of gender equality? Well, here gender equality can activist can state here. I cannot read the minds of women because we do not know that when man, when women would be assassination criminals and man would be assassination victims. So, could we put all women in jails? That statement would be containing the gender equalities. But what is the toxic feminism? Toxic feminism is in the real world, here in real cases, women are gender violence criminals, women are gender assassination criminals, but someone to believe in feminism states here man is assassination criminals, all men should be in jail as an accordance with the hard statements. That is the definition of feminism. Because we can see, well, now we can, where is man's ethic quality and we can say where is man's morality and where is women's moralities. Here is the clearly difference between man moralities versus women moralities. Now we can see whereas man morality is to build a building of 150,000 stories building where we can almost 1.5 million people can live in one building or 1.5 million family can live in one building. Here women's morality quality of the women morality is how can I eliminate a man to be scientific real estate businessman. That is the significant points. Here is why Sheikh eliminate Ketan Agarwal's in the purpose of benefits for Ketan Agarwal's sisters. And now let's take at the moments. Here we can see that is the significant dangerous points. And now the irony is that we, the feminine men, are supporting the toxic feminism when the toxic feminism is harmful for the real estate business where the project is Vatican City with the buildings of 150,000 stories. And now let us the points that is the significant crimes. Okay. And now here we can see what's going on. Here we can see the notification effects as sometimes. Okay. Now let's check it. And in these cases, here we can see that is the significant terms that can be notified at the well. Now here we can see this moments here when man's real estate businessman cargo ship is fuel system to be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Here real estate business women cargo ship fuel is cargo ship oils. And now, and in these cases, now what is the affections of the cargo ship fuel words? Now let's check at the moments. 6.8 multiplied by 10 to the power 30 joules as the kinetic energy of real estate businessman cargo ship. That can be divided by what? 15,408 I mean bracket of 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as a specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius multiplied by the following temperatures. And what is the weights? That is 6.63 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 643 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now here is the moments. On the other hand, when we are talking about the women business to be business women, so in real estate business, here cargo ships energies to be 858 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 joule can as a kinetic energy of cargo ship can be divided by a bracket of 200,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as a specific heat of cargo ship oils multiplied by 50 degrees Celsius as a temperature difference as highest multiplied by 1.01 kilogram per liters as a density of cargo ship oils. Now let's check it what's going on. That is 8.5 billion liters of cargo ship oils is required for the for cargo ships with to be 165,000 with here velocity to be 11 kilometer per hour, where naval distance is 11,000 kilometers and here naval time is 83 days 4 hours. And now that is the significant disaster for here real estate business. And now we can see when the topic is about the real estate business as some moments, and here we could see here the business deal has been cancelled, where business deal is 60 trillion United States dollars. Hence, what's the matter? In this cases, here India contains the national debt of 60 trillion United States dollars as an external debt. And now what is going on? In that cases, well now, before the death of Ketan Agarwal, here United States of America and Russia want to control India, but then the deaths will become when Somalia, Sudan, Zimbabwe want to control the India, and here control India is not would not be the necessity for United States of America, neither for Russia. And now that is the wish of Shia Ghosals. Hence, that is the moment in this cases Shia Ghosals eliminate Ketan Agarwal's has only in the purpose to destruction the scientific real estate business. And now that is the significant dangerous moments as we could notify. Okay, and here we can see the points, and it is the justified momentums at the times that can be still as dangerous moments. And we could see, well, and now let's check it what's going on. And here we can see this. Here glass and aluminum requires here 2200 ship only for the purpose to build here 100,000 storage building. For the building of 150,000 storage, here glass containing cargo ship 3300. And now, in these cases, here is the significant terms, that is here dangerous momentums as we could see, and here we can notify, well, here backs from here, but unfortunately here we could not find here my brothers as the early mornings. And now in these cases, well, here we could see what is the statistic energy, 3300 multiple by, okay, now here we can see this months 3300 multiple by what's 65 multiple by 10 to the power 10 to the power 7, well, multiple by here words 9 multiple by 16. And now here you can see the statistic energy would be here. In this cases the okay, that would be almost 1.9305 multiple by 10 to the power 29, and that means here 2 multiple by 10 to the power 29 joules as a statistic energy. Now, well, now let's take this 2 multiple by 10 to the power 29 kilograms of joules, I mean 2 multiple by 10 to the power 29 joules can multiple by here 0.69216, and now what is the moments, that would be here 139 multiple by 10 to the power 27. And now let's take it the as a kinetic energy. Okay, now what is 139 multiple by 10 to the power 27? Yes, here kinetic energy multiple by 22, that we can see it would be the significant difference at the points. It would be here 3.058 billion quadrillions megawatts. And now let's take at the moments. What about the kinetic energies at the points? Here we can see what is 3300 divided by 2, that is here 1650. Okay, now in these cases when the topic is 1650 multiple by, well, bracket of 65 multiple by 10 to the power 7, that can be multiple by what? That can be multiple by 16. And now here we can see these points. It is almost 17.16 trillion joules. Okay, now let's check it. What is the kinetic powers when travel time is 83 days 4 hours? That means here travel time would be 4.8 million watts, that means 4.8 megawatts. And now let's check at the moments. Well, businessman cargo ship fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiple by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, and businesswomen cargo ship oils fuel is cargo ship oils. And now here we can see this points 10 to 7. Now here we can see 139 multiple by 10 to the power 27 can be divided by here 15,408 joule per kilogram per kelvins. as a specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius multiplied by the following temperatures, and hence we can see the fuel weight is 1.36 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 644 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. On the other hand, let's get the moments. Where is the times? Here 17.16 multiplied by 10 to the power 12, that can be here divided by words, bracket of 2 thousands multiplied by 50 multiplied by words 1.01 brackets, and then here we can see, here we could see that is the points to be 170 liters of cargo ship oil. That means here 200 million liters of 200 million grams of cargo ship oil. That means 200,000 tons. And now here we can see the small moments. Well, in these cases, the cargo ship to contains here glasses to build here a building with a story of 150,000. Hence, in that cases, here we could see cargo ship was a businesswoman to be the sister of Ketan Agarwal. Requires here 200,000 tons of cargo ship oils, where if Ketan Agarwal would alive, he requires almost 1.36 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 644 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius as a requirement. And now in these cases, here we can see that the cases is in the topic of the science, where we can see Shia Gosals. It is okay for Shia Gosals to marry and business lesbian in the real estate business that can contest a project the cargo ship with the velocity to be 11 km per hour, but Shia Gosal cannot tolerate existence of her future husband to be a businessman like Ketan Agarwal, where Ketan Agarwal's cargo ship's velocity is 242,000 km per second. And now it is the point that is the significant discussed moments, and here is the significant points to be identified. And the irony is that Divya Spandana Ramya states here man can do assassination crimes, so should all men put in jail? That is the point of Divya Spandana Ramya. Where in reality is that all of assassination criminals are women. And here we can see the points. Yes, man can be assassinated, but when man can be assassinated, man can be assassinated to be police officer or army officer. Well, man assassinator is police officer, women assassinator is criminals. Well, man assassinator target is D-word mafia, weapons mafia, gender racket mafia, human trafficking mafia. When what is women assassinators targets? scientific real estate businessman, here automobile scientific automobile chief executive officer, scientific automobile chief technical officers, scientific of automobile chief financial officers is the target of women assassinators. But the first Spandana Ramya did not mention that women can be an assassinator criminals. And that is the significant to be the toxic feminism. And that is the concern for the mankind to be citizen of India. Well, now here you can see, and here is my request to all Indian brothers that please send Deepa Spandana Maria to Tihar prisons. Okay, and now here we can see electric. What is electric wands? Here we could see that is the well, and here we can see that here I have mentioned our opinions, and here our opinions get the significant moments. Okay. Now here we can see it is the points of the real estate business, but I think we have to mention here next live stream. Here next live stream would be the live stream that here how Shia Ghosal's expenditure is in the purpose to provide cytoestrogens to make Australian man footballers feminine in the Inter World Cup. But here Ketan Agarwal did not support Shia Ghosal's. Hence, Shia Ghosal's eliminates Ketan Agarwal. That would be the topic of the next live streams. I think it should be your topic in today's live streams, but fortunately, here what happens? Fortunately, here we could catch the significant terms. Well, what is the fortunate? And here today's is the happy days because of the luck that here Argentina gets victory. Okay, and now here we can see this moments, and when we are talking about the Argentinas, well, now it would be completely in the base of what? It would be completely in the base of scientific science and technologies, where we are going to discuss about cytoestrogens in the next live streams. Well, now let's celebrate for today's. Okay, see you then. Love you.